This is Mr. Porter, the omnipotent, wonderful, incredible. I produce a little bit. I do a little couple things. I might be on stage running around with Eminem. I might be on stage running around doing my own shit, but I'm a producer. I started there. Rest in peace, Jay Dilla. You know what I'm saying? This is nodfactor.com, and if your head is not nodding when you play your beats and they ain't nodding their head to your shit, you whack. It's pretty much what it is. You're whack. You're done. Quit. Stop. Run away. Put your head in the hole. You can try again. Most likely, you should stop. Especially if you over a certain age and your shit still ain't banging and you ain't got the nod factor, you whack. I did, right after the Proof incident, I started sound designing. It was more so, I've always been doing it, but I didn't think about it. I was giving drums to, I was obviously giving drums to Dre, giving drums to, and we all just would pass drums around, But I always made my own drums, I know how to take a break beat and not really using the break beat, but just using the elements of certain things and creating something else. Whether it's slapping the door, slamming, or anything like that. I can be very technical. Focus would tell you that I'm extremely technical. For me, it's when it comes to making a beat, I use everything that I learn. I'm a sponge. And sometimes I forget shit, and that's good. I don't go back and I keep doing it because I'm going to make the same beat. I've never made the same sounding beat. You can go through any beat that I've ever produced, you won't find something that sounds like something else. And that's because some people have OCD where it works, where they do just repetitious. Mine is, no, I can't do this because that's cheating. I don't want to do. So mine is, I'm more focused on the actual, I obsess with the fact that I don't want to use the same thing. So making drums, where I'm from in Detroit, Dilla told me, he was like, you make drums every time you make a beat. You cater the drums according to that. We weren't going back. We didn't have zip disks full of beats. We only had enough money to have so many zip disks, so we couldn't just take sounds from one thing and do it to the other. It wasn't like that. We made drums every time. So basses, anything like that. I might use, if a bass player comes in, I might not want to use the amp that's in Pro Tools. I might not want to use the amp. I might want to have them plug up and go through the mic and create my own sound out of it. Then I take it, I stretch it, put it into whatever program I want to, and then it becomes a bass sound that I have that's mine. And I just like to design sounds. And because if you're using stock sounds, every song, I can tell what anybody's using. I can always tell when somebody's using Fruity Loops. I can always tell they use the same shit. To each his own. But I have a sickness that don't, I don't know, whatever bone it is, I ain't born with it. And I can't do it because I don't want to, what's going to set me aside? You can give 4 people the same sample. If I give Illmind, Khalil, and Focus, and S1 or somebody, and we all use the same sample, none of us is going to make the same beat. But if you give it to 10 kids that do beats today that use the same program, damn near all of them going to make the same beat. Flat out. And that's just the truth. Some people like, man, you stupid. You didn't. Yeah, but I made millions of dollars not doing it your way. I ain't make my money the same way you made yours. You keep doing it, keep that shit over there. You ain't got to. If people come to me, you coming to me because you want to feel music. You want to feel something. If I write a hook, you're going to feel something. I'm not here to stay in the club I'm not in the club all the time. I'm a grown ass man. I got shit to do. I want to own the building that you're going into. I'm on that. I'm not into. Not knocking it. I'm not, and not to just say attacking club shit because I still got shit that's like that. Mm-hmm. When I go, I don't hear music the same way. If I hear a Mike Will beat, sometimes I hear a Mike Will beat and I be like, man, this nigga, the way he filters, I fuck with it, right? But then I be hearing some other shit that might sound like it, and I know it's not his because I take it that deep. I know exactly when. Nah, they trying to do it like he do it. You know what I'm saying? Or I know what Mustard sound like. I know sonically what Mustard sound like. But I know a whole bunch of shit that sound like it's trying to be like Mustard too. There's a difference. They're not really looking at what he's doing that makes him different. And I know I'm talking about geeky stuff here, but it's like we don't make beats the same. Everybody use them different. Like, and I'm pretty sure I can hear some shit and say, well, oh yeah, I can tell what Mike doing right here. But I can tell what Khalil did right here, and I can tell because they know the same principles. They looking a little deeper into just making a beat. They ain't just using a computer and doing it. Like, but if it wasn't for those guys, it wouldn't be people like Mustard. It wouldn't be people like myself. It wouldn't be people like Khalil. It wouldn't be people like that. That's what set them aside. Not knocking them. They just got a ways to go. You know, you can't. I can go to a different planet and show them a lighter, and they can make lasers out of it. They may be more advanced in their brain. You can bring that same lighter to America, and if we was Neanderthals and all we gonna do is burn down a house or burn down a forest because we don't really know what we fucking with. Everybody evolved differently. Now I'm pretty good with EQing things and you knowing for whatever reason, I see waveforms when I actually hear a sound. Like if I hear a snare, I know exactly where to take out whatever to get the sound that I want, and I start noticing it around then, and then I got more into it. Like a kick, I know how to make the kick work for whatever size speaker. I don't have to look at the hertz to know. I see it in a weird way. It's like everything has a shape, waveform to it, and I was great with mixing. I know how to take 3 kicks, mix them together, and then give it a whole different sound. I have stupid, really crazy ideas with. I would take one kick, pin this different one to the left, this one to the right, but then they gonna flange. But if they don't flange, if you cut off the attack on this one and take the decay on this one, and this is that. So my mind thinks really crazy when it comes to sounds, and sometimes I think that's why people will be like, "Yo, the drums on this song is crazy," like because sometimes I was focusing on it, but then I started doing it with sounds. I think Khalil is the master of crazy sounds, though, because he's got this really, really sick sound. When it comes to music, he's the best at sound designing. When it comes to taking music and making certain stuff, like I would say I would give anybody a run for their money on percussions and sound effects, like things that explode and explosions. I can make it sound crazy. I know how to do those things. I just haven't been able to. People don't do a lot of skits and stuff for albums no more, so you don't really get to, show that. So I was just thinking about doing stuff for reals, because like Hans Zimmer is one of my favorite. Like the way that he puts things together, and like the sound for the sounds and that he used for Batman and all those things. Those things intrigue me. So eventually, I think that I would like to see if I like getting into that. Like he's definitely one of the people that I love to study under. But yeah, it's pretty much sound designing is something I was doing all along. I remember when I first met Dre, he was like, he thought I played keyboards, and I was taking samples and making chords out of samples. Like, so I would take chords. What was I used to do? It's some weird way that I knew, and I don't even know notes in a sense that people would think that I do. I just hear it. So I could take a sample and was like, oh, this is, let's say if this is C and this is going to go over this, and I would kind of pad them and it would turn into this shit, and the beats just came out crazy. I wish I could remember how I was doing that shit then, because I want to go back to it sometimes, but there's phases. Like I said, I pride myself on not making the same thing. Sometimes it works against me.